A dramatic increase in the life expectancy for people with Down syndrome. Here to answer questions is Dr. Stephanie Santoro, a pediatrician at Mass General for Children. Dr. Santoro, thanks for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, doctor, as you know, about 6,000 babies born every year in the U.S. are diagnosed with Down syndrome. You treat these patients every day. In your experience, what's the most common concern that their parents have?
Yeah, great question. As you mentioned, I'm so proud to be one of the physicians in the Mass General Hospital Down syndrome program, where we see over 700 patients in our panel. And the thing I think parents care the most about is really, wanting to make sure they're doing everything they possibly can to maximize the health and well-being of their loved one with Down syndrome. And Down syndrome is due to trisomy 21, and that means it can have a number of co-occurring medical and developmental conditions. And so just like any syndrome, some people with Down syndrome have some parts of the syndrome, and some people with Down syndrome have other parts of the syndrome. So really, in short, each person is an individual and unique. And I think parents want to make sure that we're thinking and looking for all of those co-occurring conditions, but also treating their loved one with Down syndrome like an individual.
Of course. So let's talk about this national data on life expectancy, because it appears to show tremendous progress. I mean, today, for a person with Down syndrome, that life expectancy, it's about 60 years old. In 1960, it was just 10 years old. So clearly an enormous change. In your opinion, what has driven this?
Yeah, really over the past decades, and we're talking 60 years here, a lot has changed in the care of individuals with Down syndrome. Looking back, we've conducted research to identify some of those known co-occurring conditions I mentioned, which has then led to the development of healthcare guidelines to allow us to screen and detect those conditions as soon as possible. And then the medical and surgical treatment of those co-occurring conditions, like congenital heart disease, which impacts about half of individuals with Down syndrome. All of those treatments have also improved, and that's led to improvements in the life expectancy. And then with that increase in life expectancy, I think it's important to mention that developmental supports like early intervention services and increased inclusion, both educationally and in the community, all of that's been implemented since the 1960s as well. And all of that ensures that people with Down syndrome are leading not just longer, but even more meaningful lives.
And Dr. Santoro, researchers, we understand, also broke down this data by race. So what did they find there?
Yeah, this one is a bit interesting. So some of the very original studies where they had really large cohorts of individuals with Down syndrome in their data, those were looking at mortality in the 1980s and 1990s. And just like I was explaining, so much has changed since then. But in the original data, they did see a disparity in race where individuals with Down syndrome who were white or Caucasian were living longer than individuals with Down syndrome of other races. So this led a lot of research and a lot of folks to look into why this might be and what might be the underlying cause of this disparity. And interestingly, despite looking at many factors, especially medical factors, they couldn't find a clear trend in the data or a reason to, fully explain the difference in mortality rates. But on the kind of positive side, there is some hope. So there have been some studies looking at predictive modeling where they look at the future life expectancy for people who are born with Down syndrome currently. And it looks like in the future, that gap in life expectancy will actually close. And so, yeah, it's hopeful that, in the future with continued tracking of this and continuing, to make sure we have equitable health care for everyone with Down syndrome, that this gap will close like we hope it will.
Okay, Dr. Santoro, thanks so much for joining us for your insight tonight.
Thank you.